Hi guys, this is the Golden Girl MD and you're welcome to yet another video. In today's video, I'll be talking about my experience working as a healthcare assistant in the UK and how it's been so far for me, just giving you general information about what being an HCA is like and how much the pay is, and basically what I've been up to for the last few months. And if you're interested in hearing more, please stick and stay, and while you're at it, don't forget to like, comment and share. And of course, if you haven't already, please hit that subscribe button down below, and let's get into the video. Okay, so I know I've been missing for some time, and the main reason is the fact that I started working. So for those of you who don't know, I've been sort of at home for a while, sort of taking care of my little one, and now I've gone back into work, not as a doctor yet, but as a healthcare assistant, and this has been an interesting journey. It has been an interesting experience, and I'm going to tell you all about it in this video. What is a healthcare assistant? So I'm going to make this very easy to understand, okay? I'm going to put this in the simplest of terms, okay? I'm not going to go into too much detail or technicality, so please, no one should come for me. I want you to understand basically what healthcare assistants are, okay? So a healthcare assistant is basically someone who helps. I'm sure that's like the simplest definition ever, but someone who helps. That's basically what you do. The kind of help you give will depend on where you are working, okay? And the person that you are taking care of, okay? So healthcare assistants basically help clients, help patients, help residents with their activities of daily living. Now, these activities, like I mentioned earlier, will be dependent on what kind of help the person needs, what condition the person has, where the person is, etc. Okay, so that's basically a healthcare assistant. Now, there are different kinds of healthcare assistants, if I should put it that way, depending on where you are. You may have healthcare assistants working in hospitals, you may have them working in support homes. In that case, they're usually called support workers. You have senior carers who are sort of trained to do extra things, okay, like, you know, giving certain medications. They have certain qualifications which makes them senior carers, and they work in more of a supervisory role over the other HCAs, okay? And then you have domiciliary carers who go from home to home to take care of these residents. I'm sure there are so many other types of healthcare assistants. We also have live-in carers. Yes, I almost forgot to mention live-in carers who actually live with the residents, live with them to take care of them. So there are many different types, and you hear all these different names all around, but they are basically healthcare assistants, and they are basically people who help other people, okay? I think that's the simplest definition you ever get. Why did I choose to be a healthcare assistant? I chose to be a healthcare assistant because, okay, so just a little backstory for those of you who don't know. I'm a medical doctor. I qualified in Ghana in 2019, and then I went on to do my housemanship training for 2 years at the Tamale Teaching Hospital. After that, I relocated to the UK to join my husband, who is also a medical doctor, currently doing his training in general surgery, okay? So at the time I relocated, I was already in the process of getting my medical license to practice in the UK. And that process is quite long. It takes a while. It involves writing various exams, making applications, presenting documents. Then when you finally get your license, you then have to apply to various hospitals. That is, provided they have vacancies, apply to these hospitals. Then they interview you, then they give you a response, and then they tell you when you're going to start, which is usually not like a week or two. It's usually like a month or two and then you start working. So you can see that the whole process from starting the journey to becoming a medical doctor in the UK to actually starting your work as a medical doctor in the UK can be quite long. And so that is the journey that I'm currently on. Okay, and so I said, well, why don't I do something to make use of that time, something that can bring me some income and something that will not be too far or too remote from my experience as a healthcare worker. And I thought being a healthcare assistant was the perfect fit. Okay, so that's why I decided to do a job as a healthcare worker. What does a job actually involve? So the job actually basically involves taking care of people. So I will give you sort of examples from my own experience so far. So the very first shift I did as a healthcare assistant was in a care home, and it was a 7.5-hour shift. I went at 2:30, I believe, 2:30 p.m. and I closed at 10 p.m. Okay, so that was my very first shift, and that basically involved helping these residents. So those of them who are bedridden, we help them to maybe to wash them, you know, get a bed bath. Those who couldn't feed themselves, you would, you know, help feed them. Those who needed pad changes, because those who are bedridden couldn't, you know, they can't go to the toilet, so they use pads. You help to change them. That I'm not even going to sugarcoat it. That is what it involved in a care home. Now, I've only gone to a care home once because the agency I work with gives me a lot of shifts in support homes. Okay, so I'm going to talk more about support homes in this video. So in a support home, it's basically a normal house. So it may be a 3, 4, 5 bedroom house, but it has different residents. Okay, and that house is managed by a company. There are so many companies out there, but those companies are support home, like they have support workers. Okay, so they employ support workers to go in there and help these clients. Most of the people in support homes are usually sort of semi-dependent. They can do certain things for themselves, but they cannot do others for themselves. So one of the support homes I go to, we have residents who can work themselves, they can eat themselves. You may just need to give them medications, you may just need to help them maybe with pad changes, you may need to help them with their finances, and when they want to go out, you may have to go with them and stuff. So yeah, basically that is how it's like. Another home that I go to, support home I go to, there are these two lovely ladies there. They're so amazing. They do every single thing for themselves. They do the house chores themselves. They cook for themselves. They do their own laundry. They even take their own medications. There are just certain creams that I have to apply for them and I have to record. And there are certain medications that I just have to remind them to take if they haven't taken, you understand? So that's basically it. Now, we also have people who are domiciliary care workers. I've never done that before, but these people go from house to house to do certain things for their residents. So for example, you may go to a client's house at 1 p.m. to help them get dressed, to help make their lunch, and then you move on to another client's house to give them their afternoon medications, so on and so forth. So that is another type of healthcare sort of job that you could do. So that is basically what I do. I help currently, like I said, I'm working in support homes, so I go in there, help them to, you know, get their bath, to brush their teeth, to get their breakfast, to get them dressed, and then sometimes there's, you know, a few minutes or hours of downtime. We sit down, watch TV with them. If they want to go out to the movies or something, we take them. Okay, we take their money out of their money tins. Of course, everything is documented, how much you took. We go out, buy them their movie tickets, buy them whatever they need, make sure we get receipts. Okay, and the nice thing is that when you take them to the movies, you get to watch the movie for free, so that's also nice. But yeah, you take them out, you know, you can take them out on a walk, take them out for lunch, and then you come back. So that's basically just helping them to live their lives. Basically, that's why I said being a healthcare assistant is basically just helping people. So that is typically what I do roughly, okay, from day to day as a healthcare assistant. A typical shift will be from 7 a.m. to 2:30 or 3:30, that's 3:30 or 2:30, depending on where I am, or If it's an afternoon shift, it will be from like 2:30 or 3:30 until 9 or 10. I usually don't do nights. There are people who usually do nights from like 10 to the next day 7 a.m. I have done what we call sleep in. So sleep in is when you go and you sleep in the house, okay? And you are supposed to sleep. It's not a night shift. You're not supposed to be awake. You're supposed to sleep. And the whole point of sleeping is the fact that in case anything happens at night, there's an emergency, in case they need something at night, you are there. But I've done 2 sleep-ins and I was never woken up. I literally slept. So, and you're paid for that. You're paid for the sleep-in. So that's basically typically how the work is like. Okay, how has my experience been so far? That's a very good question. Honestly, I have had a very good experience. I've had so many nice times. Yes, I've had a few times that were not so pleasant, but I think working as a healthcare assistant, like I said, is helping people. And so when you're helping people and you're dealing with people, you have to always remember and recognize the fact that these people, some of them may not behave in a nice way at certain times because they are in pain, they are in distress, they are sick, different reasons. So you have to be understanding. I will say that for a lot of the people that I have worked with, they have been so amazing, so kind, so lovely. Like some of the girls that I've worked with, we just talk, chat, they tell me stuff, it's quite nice. It's like you're with your siblings. But when they do behave in a way that is not nice, or they say something that is not nice, you have to recognize that these people are not as fortunate as I am or as you are. Okay, some of them have learning disabilities, they have autism, they have Down syndrome, they have various syndromes and conditions, and so they may not be able to think and reason and understand the way you do. So you have to be very patient and very understanding. Now, that's not to say you should accept any form of abuse. Any form of abuse or any incident is supposed to be reported. We have incident forms that we are supposed to fill when something happens. But generally, my experience has been extremely good. And you are usually never working alone. You have other healthcare assistants around you, so it's not like you'll be in an unsafe situation or anything. So my experience has been really, really good. I've made some really, really wonderful friends at work, as well as the residents themselves, my colleagues, the residents, the managers. It's been really lovely for me. So I think being a healthcare assistant is all about mindset. If you approach it with a very snobby, very arrogant, very proud, demeanor, you will not enjoy it, you will not like it, and you may even end up getting into trouble because you may end up maltreating the people you take care of. But if you always realize that these are people who cannot help themselves, they need help, and one day I may need help, and then you'll be in a very humble position, and you will do your work well, and I believe that God will reward you for it. How is the pay like? How is the salary? Okay. So I'm currently working with an agency. Okay, so if you want to work as a healthcare assistant, there are so many ways that you can work. If you want me to do a very detailed video about working as a healthcare assistant and how to get into the job, how to apply for the job, different settings that you can apply to work as, whether it's an agency or whether it's a company with a permanent contract, etc., please comment down below and I'll make that video for you. But I am working with an agency at the moment, which means that I don't have a specific contract with them. I can work whenever I want to. They send me the shifts, so they may send me an email saying we have shifts on these days at these times, which ones can you pick up? And then I'll respond saying, okay, I can pick up the one on Monday morning, the Tuesday evening one, the Saturday, or even say the Thursday, I can work the whole day. So you pick the shifts you want. If a week goes by and you don't want to work, that's it. You just email them saying, oh, I'm going on holiday for this week, and so I'm not working. and you're paid for the shifts that you do. And my agency pays me weekly. Okay, so they pay weekly. So if I've worked 40 hours this week, they will pay me by the next Friday. It may vary from agency to agency or company to company. Of course, if you are in a permanent contract in the NHS, in a care home, they may pay you monthly. But my company is an agency, and so they pay you weekly for the work that you have done. If you work 10 hours the week, you will be given your pay for 10 hours the following week. How much you're paid, again, depends on where you are working, the agency that you are working. But my agency is quite good. They pay minimum of £12.50. Okay, £12.50 an hour. Okay, so this depends on the days that you're working and the type of shift you're doing. So if you're working on a weekday and it's during the day, you're paid £12.50. If it's in the night, it's higher. If it is a Saturday day, it's higher. If it's a Saturday night, it's even higher. If it's a Sunday day, it's higher. But I don't work on Sundays. I never work on Sundays. No Sundays for me. But yeah, it's higher. Okay. If you work on a Sunday night, it's even higher. And the highest is if you work on a bank holiday. So bank holidays are just public holidays. If you work on a public holiday day, it's higher. If you work on a public holiday night, it's even higher. So that's basically it. So depending on the types of shifts I do, then I get my pay based on that. Okay, yeah. So yeah, £12.50 per hour minimum for my agency. What are my next steps? So all this while, I've been making job applications, interviews, and yeah, I'm just on the hunt for a medical job. By the grace of God, there is one that is like quite positive, and I'll be giving you the good news very soon. But in the meantime, I am in a transition period. That's all I'll say. I'm not going to give away the good news now. But yeah, the next step for me is obviously to start working as a doctor in the UK. That has always been the plan. So yeah, those are the next steps for me, to start working in the NHS as a medical doctor. And I'll be sharing with you my journey as I go along. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to put it down in the comment section down below. Of course, don't forget to like, comment, and share this video. And of course, if you haven't already subscribed, please hit that red subscribe button down below, and I will catch you in my next video. Have a blessed day. Bye.